Hello, Bruce Lindholm back at you again for another series of our steps on taking you through the buying process. Today we want to talk about the pre-approval or pre-qualified process. There is a difference in being pre-approved and pre-qualified. One of them will look at you, what they call as a quick approval. You're put into their computer. It's a program and it'll show whether it appears that you are qualified to buy or not. Now, being totally qualified is actually the preferred way, especially in a competitive market. That shows that you are ready to go ahead and buy that home. There's a little more process to it, but that is a step higher than just getting a pre-approval process. Being pre-qualified is a stronger offer that we'd be making, and a lot less likely to have a surprise that will cancel or blow up the deal later. The process of selecting a lender is a lot of times your agent will have some, and they really should give you more than one. Have a number of very good lenders that they have experience with that they would recommend, and give you a list of those people. If you don't like those people, you don't have to select one of them. You certainly can find one on your own. We always like to give our people at least 3 and up to 6 and tell them to call one, call them all. Feel comfortable, make sure you have a good relationship or you feel like they're going to communicate with you. You have to be confident in that person that they're going to do the job. We would not give you that list if we didn't think they were good or if we didn't have experience with them. Again, call one, call them all. I would prefer, or Gina and I would prefer, if you would certainly at least talk to 2 and do some comparing. Now, our other video that we did was on sitting down and selecting homes and starting your search. This step can flip-flop. Some people want to get started first and at least get a feel for the market, then go out and find out what they can qualify for. It's probably best if you do this step first and getting yourself into the financing side of things first, so you're not going and looking at homes that maybe are lower than you can afford or higher than you can afford, and fall in love with one of them to find out you cannot purchase it, or that you don't want that one. So definitely we feel that you should get out and find out what you can afford first. If you're paying cash, that's a different story. At some point when we write an offer on cash, we're going to ask you for a letter that shows where the funds come from, and that's to appease, if you will, or to prove that you have those funds to the selling side. That is important as well, so that should not come as a surprise later that you will need that letter to show it. Put yourself in the other side. Someone says they can pay cash, but they never prove it. How do you know that the money is really there? That was kind of a practice during the crash times, that there was buyers that would say they could afford things and they really didn't have the money, and you lost out on a bunch of buyers already, and now you're kind of between a rock and a hard place, and they come up with a solution, of course, that would benefit them. So I guess that's pretty much it today. Again, the last video on looking at homes and this one can flip-flop. We certainly prefer that you get out and find out where you stand. Make sure there isn't a blemish on your credit, so it's not going to affect when you can buy. If it does, then we just push things off, but you don't want surprises, is what it is. You don't want to start falling for some houses, get all excited to find out that there's something that has to come off your credit, and you've got to wait a month. Or 2 or 3. We had a couple that ended up having to wait 3 months. Little different situation. We had, and this is a good point, we had told them from the beginning, you cannot be spending on credit cards during this time, because they were a little tight on their ratios. The day before, the evening before they closed, they bought a new bed for their new home. The problem is that the lenders will pull one more credit report right before closing. They did, and it had already shown up on their credit report, and it knocked their ratios out. It took them 3 months to be able to get their ratios back in order. They lost the house, of course. So we'll get into that deeper as we talk with you individually. But again, really avoid, or at least talk to your lender if there's something you have to purchase. Buying new cars is just a killer. We had someone do that as well. Actually, it wasn't our people. They were going to buy one of our listings, and as a present to himself, he bought himself a new Cadillac Escalade and now could not afford to buy the house and lost out. So a lot of different things. Anyway, that's it for today. Bruce and Gina with Lindholm Group at Realty Group. We are over and out for today. Thank you.